Let's engage four-wheel drive and see how deep we can go. Some idiot's always asking how deep this pond is. Well, I can tell you it's deeper than the snorkel in this 300. We're in neutral, just kind of coasting down. You guys think we can cross it? Think we should just send it? I think we should send it. Let's engage first gear, get the front end up. Oh man. Even with the bendy snorkels, I can hold it up like that if needed. I'm just gonna help kind of swim her along, you know? Wow. Unstoppable! Pretty much zero wheel slip. You almost feel like you're on paper. Mint. Yeah, it's grabbing that fender support when I turn. There's not a whole lot I can do about it without really chopping into my fender. I've already got that bracket relocated back there pretty far. Guess it's time for a bigger lift. Now I could put some little spring spacers. Those are stock 420 shocks, so it's at about 2 inches of lift. I could probably get a little more out of it. I like how it rides right now though. You don't need steering. It looks so good. You can deal without having steering. I've recently been getting a good amount of questions about the Big Red because I don't really ride it a whole lot, but people see it in the videos. So yeah, this is a I think it's an 85. We can find out real quick. Never mind, it's not there. Thought the year was on the neck. There we go, 1985, Big Red 250 ES. ES stands for electric start, not electric shift. This is before all that crap. So mods, I've got, start the front, work our way back. We've got a Hyper dual bead lock, missing a few bolts for extra weight savings. Front wheel, which is a 14, and we got a mud bug on it. Don't remember how I came apart with an extra bead lock. It was a long time ago. And then to get it centered upright, we got a wheel spacer. Just you gotta do it on a three-wheeler, right? To get the wheel centered, you gotta have a wheel spacer with most wheels. Centered up pretty damn good. And then on the front lift, we did a thing where we slid the forks down a little bit and welded a piece of angle iron on the back. Isn't that ugly? People say that's gonna break, that's dangerous. It's been like that for 5 or 6 years with me riding it, and it's holding up great. So it's almost like I'm smarter than you. Anyway, so work our way up here. We got these custom ass snorkels. This flex pipe goes all the way to the top of here, goes onto the frame. I welded some tube onto the frame, slid the flex pipe in there, sealed it up with ultra black, and then I sealed up the few other places along the tube where it leaks. So these things breathe from the frame factory, but it's not 100%. You have to seal up a few spots and make sure your boots are good. And man, finding good boots for a three-wheeler is not an easy thing to do. So then we've got a plastic gas tank, obviously, because the factory run rusted off. That's just like a cheapo plastic. ODI grips for a more premium experience. Brand new Mariner rear fenders. Everything else is original, but these things fell apart. And I got a little tired of having my feet sucked into the back tire, so I put that on there. Does have an 18% gear reduction, which, by the way, you got to know what you're doing, because on a three-wheeler or an old 250 TRX, there's 2 different size crankshafts, which means there's 2 different size primary gears. So a gear reduction from an 85 Big Red will not fit on 86 and vice versa. So they're similar to a 300, but not exactly. On this 85, it's a different gear reduction. So it's an 18% in there. The rear end is something special. So I needed a 250 Big Red rear end for a 300 build. So I put the 300 rear end and swing arm on here, because the three-wheeler, you know, it's got a little less power, a little less weight. 300 rear end will survive longer on a three-wheeler than it will on 300. Obviously that's a grease zerk. It's packed with grease. Shock mount looks kind of jacked up because it was on a 300 before. But I also used a swing arm and made a custom really long swing arm bolt. I don't know if you can see that way up in there. So that swing arm bolt has been extended to allow me to run a 300 swing arm on a Big Red, because the frames are different widths. So that's pretty custom. And it also gave me like a 2-inch stretch. So it's got like all the way around, it's got like a 2-inch front lift, which is actually a little bit of stretch because it's an angle, and then a 2-inch rear stretch. But it's not enough to where it rides terrible. So I had done a Big Red before with a really big lift, and three-wheelers with big lifts are stupid, right? Three-wheelers barely work as they are. There's a reason they were outlawed. They're a little dangerous. They require a little bit more skill. But once you start lifting them, they're just not fun to ride. You You ruin the three-wheeler. The great thing about a three-wheeler is the maneuverability, the turning radius, and the lightness. These aren't even that light. This thing's pretty heavy duty, but it has all the cool features, like this headlight is on a cord, so you can actually pop this headlight off. I'll show it to you guys, just because it's excellent. That's my gas tank breather. You pop the headlight off, there's a cord in here, and you can walk away with it and use the headlight like a spotlight. That is, just, you just don't get cool stuff like that anymore. I'm not gonna take the cord out though, because it's kind of a bitch to get back in there. My snorkel does interfere with these clamps a little bit, but it's still usable. So yeah, it's got that going on. Obviously the brakes don't work because they're drums, and I deleted them on the back. But electric start works good, kickstart works good. Just put a new battery in this bad Larry. This is the most reliable thing I own. It just sits all the time, and every time I get on it, it's good to go, whether battery's bad or not. So we're gonna drive around a little bit because everyone keeps asking for videos, and you know, probably gonna hurt myself because I'm wearing flip-flops and no helmet on three-wheeler. Don't show this at home, kids. As you can hear, it's got a little bit of an exhaust leak. Oh yeah! Yeah, these are not excellent mud tires, as it turns out. But man, it's got the gears. Got it. Monster Mountain! Woohoo! The great thing about a three-wheeler is when you turn, you almost always get the inside tire in there. So it's a little bit like having a differential. All right, this is a steep side, second gear. Woohoo, we barely made that. Tires have no grip and it's a little sloppy out. Whoa! Mud puppy mud bog, here we come. Let's engage first gear, also known as super low. I'm pretty sure that, yep. SL, baby, super low. Old woolly boogers are eating. Obviously, that's kind of cheating. It doesn't really fit down in the rut, but you know, it did it. Going deep. Oh, she's floating a little bit. Man, the pond is deep. Let's drive through it. Super low, engaged. On this one, it actually is super low. With that 18% gear reduction, this thing doesn't play around. The good thing is the whole thing is totally buoyant, so even when you fall off of it, it's fine. It's hard to balance it with these balloon tires on it. Purring like a kitten though. Wish I could get my 2020 fucking $7,000 Rubicon to island or water like this. Bone dry. Ah, my carb vent is off. So I probably got a little water in the carburetor. I have to drain that. Get all that bad shit out of there. Oh, there's no gas in it. Let's put some gas in it too while we're at it. There's two reasons a Honda won't run. I should have had three, but really there's two. The kill switch is off, or there's no gas in it. I guess the third reason might be your carburetor is full of water because your carb overflow drain is not hooked up, so when you went in water, it sucked a bunch of water into the carburetor. When the air in the carburetor contracted, yada yada yada. Inadequate. So that's second gear. First gear is just too slow. I just gotta pop it back farther. There it is. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can't make this climb. We're gonna use power and speed. Second gear, wide open. Dang! This thing's about as bad at this as an F350 is. Oh, she nasty. Kubota chilling. Got some water in the bucket. Ah! I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get hurt. That's how you do it. Second gear. While we're messing with the minty old stuff, let's get on the old 97 300, which is pretty much brand new as far as it's concerned. This thing's been babied its whole life. That thing's been owned by me for too long. Runs pretty good though. We're gonna take it in the pond. I'm gonna check my drain. Ah yes, the 300's overflow drain is plugged. It is ready. I swear that Big Red makes more power than this 300 does. It does have a better carburetor from the factory and a bigger exhaust header. Oh yeah, I think the cam is better too. First gear engaged. This is actually first gear. It's not super low, even though it's the same ratio. Oh wow, it really sticks to the bottom. That's outstanding. Now this climb out used to be easy, but ever since the Land Cruiser got stuck here, it's a little screwed up. We're gonna see if we can't do it in two-wheel drive though. Nothing to worry about here. My machine is fully vented, including the gas cap, which is hard to do on a 300. God, this thing runs good underwater. Man, I really like this no float business. It's kind of cheating. Anyone could do this. I'm hoping the axle paddle will help me climb out of here. Oh yeah, I felt the grab. This will be much more stable with its giant wheels. Oh, that's outstanding. Not a problem. Really matches the pond well with the camouflage decals.